The Thanksgiving holiday is quickly approaching and is one of the busiest travel times of the year, and the weather always plays a massive impact. So let's go through your Thanksgiving holiday week and all of your travel concerns weather-wise. Let's talk about all of them and the potential for a Arctic outbreak just after Thanksgiving. Let's start with our current pattern across the United States, showing a closed off low pressure system across areas of California, and our low pressure system currently moving through the northeastern United States, bringing some cold rain, ice, and snow to many areas, and we saw some drenching rain in California this morning as well. So right now our jet stream pattern showing a jet streak in the eastern United States, and that's going to be the main player in that northeast storm system, a cutoff low pressure system in Southern California, and that's why we saw consistent heavy rainfall there that really didn't move or progress eastward. Eventually, we're going to see that cutoff low pressure system move into the eastern United States, a quick hitting storm system throughout the middle of this week across many areas of the central and eastern United States, and then a deep trough builds into the western United States throughout the end of this week. Again, another round of potentially drenching rain in California, but that'll eventually move into the central United States. And I think that we have a potential for some severe weather later on this week in the central United States. But as we get into the week of our Thanksgiving holiday, a trough is going to set up into the western United States, a ridge in the eastern United States, and that's going to build a weather battle zone in the central United States. And I think that's where we're going to be most likely to see some messy weather as we go through our Thanksgiving holiday. So again, taking this step down into the 500 millibar level, we see that closed off low pressure system scooting across the eastern and central United States throughout the middle of this week, and then a big trough digs into the western United States, ejects out towards the end of this week. Again, severe weather threat. I think Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, maybe northwest Louisiana would be in the most favorable spot for severe weather. So that is something that these people in the southern United States are fairly used to, but something to keep note of as we're going throughout the end of this week. And then as we go throughout our Thanksgiving holiday, we'll eventually see a trough build into the western United States, and this is Thanksgiving holiday. You see this trough in the west, ridge in the east, battle zone in the middle, and that is where we are most likely to see some wet weather and some snowy weather. In terms of our temperature anomalies, we're going to see lower temperatures than average in the northeast throughout the beginning of this week, and we'll see lower temperatures than average across many areas of the southwest. But eventually this pattern starts to flip, and we see more above average conditions in the eastern United States and some below average conditions as we go throughout our Thanksgiving week. And this is what's really setting me off in terms of, could we see a big cool dip into the United States? So a really cold air mass in Canada is going to slowly creep down into the United States. This is going through Thanksgiving and into Black Friday and into the weekend. And we just see this kind of bulbous of blue going throughout the entire United States and slowly creeping in. And again, this is 360 hours out, right? This is the last day of November, and we're seeing a pretty confident signal from these ensembles. This is an average of 51 different models, and that is showing temperatures about 15 degrees below average Fahrenheit-wise. I know it says 9, that is Celsius, but for my American viewers, around 15 degrees below average in areas of Alberta, and I think we'll see consistently 5 to 10 degrees, if not more, below average across many areas of the central and eastern United States as we go throughout the end of November and the very first couple days of December because of this air mass moving in from Canada. In terms of how much moisture we're going to be working with, obviously high amounts of moisture in the west right now with that atmospheric river event. Going to be dry throughout the beginning of the week. That quick moving system across the United States in the middle portion of this week. Then we'll see these precipitable water anomalies. So basically, if you take a column air, drench out all the water, wring it out, and compare that to where, if we did that on average every year, this is about an inch above average across areas of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, into Missouri, and I think the southern end of that is where we could see some severe weather with this system. That moves through, and we'll see as we go throughout our Thanksgiving week, the increase of our PWAT anomalies. This is Thanksgiving itself throughout the central United States. So again, that gives me some more confidence in saying that we're going to see some wet weather or just some more stormy weather, some unsettled conditions across the central to eastern United States. So the Mississippi River Valley, Ohio River Valley, Tennessee River Valley, and into the Great Lakes region is where I'm looking at for some unsettled conditions. And as we look at this from just a pure precipitation type standard here, here's our system towards the end of this week that could be bringing in some severe weather, some Rocky Mountain snow with this as well, especially in Colorado. We could see maybe even close to a foot of snow on the Front Range, so some good skiing, snowpack there. But as we go throughout, again, our Thanksgiving week, I think we'll see this area in general be the real winner in terms of any precipitation, or a loser for travel concerns, before we start to see a big amount of blue here, and that's going to be because of that potentially Arctic air mass. So let's take a look here. I'm going to switch my screen capture. Let's take a look at your travel forecast. This is my travel forecast that I'm giving to you early, and we're going to be expecting that atmospheric river pattern continuing in the Pacific Northwest and into Northern California. Some light snow and across many areas of the Northern Rockies and into the Northern Plains as this low pressure system starts to gear up into Thanksgiving. This is the Wednesday before, by the way. Light rain across many areas of the southern Mississippi River Valley and into the Ohio River Valley, where above average temperatures will be present. Drier conditions across the Northeast as high pressure remains in place there. Then as we go into, let me switch this up again, into Thanksgiving, we're going to see below average temperatures in the Pacific Northwest continuing to drift southeastward as that polar air mass starts to make its way into the United States, still bringing in some precipitation because of just how crazy our atmospheric river pattern has been in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. I'm going to keep that risk there. We'll see some moderate rain in many areas of the southern Mississippi River Valley. I'm confident enough in that we'll be seeing some sort of precipitation there from those precipitable water anomalies. Light rain across many areas of the southern Mississippi River Valley, even closer to the central Mississippi River Valley, into the Ohio River Valley, and into the Great Lakes region. I think we'll see some light snow on the backside of this. Above average temperatures across many areas of the central and eastern United States, and I'm keeping the East Coast dry as that high pressure system looms just offshore. So overall, I think going to be a messy holiday travel situation if you're driving, especially through the central portion of the country. If you're flying from coast to coast, though, obviously our two biggest cities, New York and LA, should be no concerns. But we should be seeing very typical conditions in the Pacific Northwest. They're used to flying and driving in the rain and snow. I know Seattle sees a ton of that, obviously, just climatically. But overall, I think that we're going to see a fairly messy couple days as that low pressure system in the central United States starts to build up. But overall, not as bad as we've seen in past years. Obviously, we're not expecting a blizzard or anything like that. I think that in terms of the snow side of things, we'll see very insignificant snow, especially compared to what we've seen the past few years with some early starts to snow season. But overall, I think we're going to see a very thankful holiday on the way. Obviously, going to see family and friends, it always, fills my heart. I hope it fills yours as well. Just a day to get together and break bread. So overall, I think that Thanksgiving is what you make it and what you're thankful for. But yeah, that is my forecast. I'm going to update this, so stay tuned here. Like this video if you enjoyed this forecast. Subscribe if you want to get any updates to this forecast as I make throughout time. Again, we're about 2 weeks away from this Thanksgiving holiday, so many things can change in our forecast, and excuse me, as we go throughout the next couple of weeks. The ensembles are just an average. As we get closer, we'll start to get more deterministic models, and we'll start to see what really happens here. But thank you all so much for watching, and a subscribe would be a huge help to the channel. I'm also opening up my community tab in my channel, so if you go to my channel, click on community, and you want to type in, ask me a question, drop your pictures, drop anything weather related, put it in that community tab. I promise I will get back to everybody that drops a post in there. Just trying to foster a community of fellow weather enjoyers and fellow weather enthusiasts across the country as we go throughout especially into the winter season. But stay tuned here for more weather updates. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys again very soon.